Hi, this is Robert from Max Guitar Store. We just arrived here in Rosewood, Germany at the Nik Huber workshop, and Nik is gonna show us around his place. So follow me. Okay, here we are at the wood storage place. It's as you can see, it's full of nice planks of wood. Nik, what can you tell us about this?
Yeah, this is where we start with the guitar, and this shelves actually show you actually only a part of the wood we have, which is already cut in sizes for guitars. We have another place where we store boards and logs and the rougher material, but here you can have pretty much any kind of maple from quite an okay flame.
This is quite nice. This is beautiful.
Yeah.
You see, it's already book matched. There's a tight bond center seam here. There's a lot of nice wood. You like this one, for instance. One piece top. So anybody who wants a decent guitar can find a lot of nice stuff here.
Yeah, I think we have, I don't know how many different kind of maples here, from quilted, Eastern big leaf, European, different European maples, plain. Yeah, that's Eastern.
Yeah, just any one you pick. Of course, this is dry, so it will not show its real soul until you make it wet or finish it. Yeah. But you can see already what the potential is of a blank like this. So this is the better stuff. So you select all your wood yourself, Nik?
Yeah, I do. So depending on what the guitar should be, let's say we make an Orca 59, then it will be this shelf for Eastern maple tops. On the mahogany back, we have also different possibilities. We have some of the mahogany we have is figured. You see, it's curly. Also, we have a different kind of curly mahoganies as well. We have the plain ones, we have African, we have South American. So the body blank will be from these shelves. We have Corina, Swamp Ash Alder, Flame Alder, you name it. And let's say a neck blank looks like this. This is how we pre-cut a neck blank. Fretboard blanks we have here from, well, actually this is a good piece. This is actually from my father. This was bought in '95. You see it here.
And you are one of the really few builders who has a very good relationship with the authorities when it comes to Brazilian rosewood.
Yes, I mean you can see a lot of Brazilian rosewood in this shelf, and it's all basically these little these blanks here were cut in the 50s for becoming billiard cues. Wow. So I was lucky enough to buy the whole batch. So it's, I don't know which year exactly, but cut in the 50s and CITES certified. It's good stuff.
Well, the thing about the Brazilian rosewood is a very hot issue right now because, of course, it's a protected species, and you're not allowed to import or export, for that matter, any Brazilian rosewood. Nik has CITES documentation for every guitar that he makes. So if you can be sure that if you buy a guitar with Brazilian rosewood from Nik Huber, it's going to be A-OK and a legal.
As long as we have it.
Yeah.
And I'm very much behind protecting any endangered species or any species, and I'm more than open to find new exciting materials beside Brazilian rosewood. But always the same statement I have: if we have an already cut blank, and you know it's from a good source, and what can you make nicer than a musical instrument out of it?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not a fan of just burning it because it's now protected.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah.
I want to protect anything which is endangered, animals, plants, trees, anything, as much as we can.
What struck me when I went with you through these woods is that if you take a neck blank like this, it already has a very good tone. I mean,
you know, it's
like a marimba almost.
The stuff that sits here is really dry, super dry, and some of the tops are still from the 90s, and especially right now we try to really buy wood and stock wood, and I'm working on a stash for 5 to 10 years now.
Wow.
It's a little bit money intense, and it's not happening from tomorrow, but it's it's where we start making guitar from, and wood is getting rarer and more expensive, and the drier and the more I have, the better. And if I can give some to maybe my kids who maybe overtake the company, I don't force them to do that, but if they want to, and I have some wood on the shelf, great.
Nice.
Yeah.
It also it struck me that all these woods, especially the maple tops, the quilted and the tiger striped, they are also very expensive to buy. I mean, of course, they are expensive for the public, but I think a top like 300-400 euros is not rare. You know, it's just
No, even it's, and especially a nice clean quilted, it's getting more and more every year. And I wish I could have bought stuff 10 years ago where it was the third part. But it's like it is, so we have to adjust to it. And yeah, the fancy stuff will not be cheaper.
Could you show us some different woods, what they look like, and what do you think they sound like, or what they do to a guitar?
Well, in this shelf, I mean, this is a little bit unorganized still, but for example, I have a different kind of rosewood. This is an East Indian rosewood blank. Then we have another nice rosewood, the rosewood species, which is Madagascar rosewood.
It's more reddish.
It almost has the lines of the Brazilian. It's really nice material.
And is it sound-wise close to Brazilian? Or is
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah. I mean, again, I have Brazilian rosewood. Let me see if I can grab a blank. Let's see. Let's take this. It's not the most straight blank, but it's very light in color. And if I plan it, it will be medium brown. But I also have blanks sitting here which are black, really black. So, and they also vary in density and weight. So it's hard to always say this sounds like this. I mean, there's so many rosewood species.
Would you say that a Brazilian rosewood would always sound better than Madagascar or Indian, or is that simply not true?
I mean, knocking against a piece of rosewood, Brazilian rosewood is always musical. It's always resonating, very crazy. And but I think there's Madagascar rosewood, East Indian rosewood, probably more Madagascar than Indian, which is probably doing the same job. And the guitar will have this kind of rosewood neck guitar sound, which we all know, and it doesn't have to be Brazilian rosewood.
Could you show us the different body woods and what they do to the sound?
Then we go here. So here we have lots of mahogany blanks, and I actually select them when we buy mahogany in bigger quantities, and they are cut in boards. Then I cut it into blanks. I plan them into a certain width, length, and thickness, and then I weigh them. And from this point out, I decide which guitar or which model it is going to be. Of course, the thicker the guitar, which is solid, the more lightweight the wood has to be. Since we do a lot of hollow body guitars, the Surfmeister is a hollow guitar, the Riedberg is hollow, the Redwood is hollow, the option hollow body is hollow, of course.
Yeah.
So and I'm a big fan of hollow body guitars. I say this all the time. So I like also denser wood, but like I said, if it has to be solid, yes, we try to make it as
The
solid
mahogany
as
is like warm and round sounding. Okay, another wood that is very well known for, let's say, the Gibson Explorers and Flying V's is the Corina. This is also a mahogany type of...
It's very similar to mahogany. I'd say it's getting more clear, mid-rangey in sound, and also it varies so much. This is quite a dense piece, so I would also go for
hollow.
Special. This one would be a hollow guitar, and I actually had boards which were thick enough to make a top and a body. So what we did on some of these, we just cut off the top, then we will hollow out the body, and then we glue
it back. Okay.
Glue it back, so it gives this kind of one-piece appearance.
Okay.
Then we have. Can I grab one of these? Yeah, that's Swamp Ash, which we all know from Telly, kind of stretch.
Of course, this is rough, so it's not planed. When it's planed, you will see the typical grains that are common to ash.
Right.
What would you say if you compare this to Corina or mahogany, sound-wise?
Well, we use ash for the bolt-on guitars to get it into the direction with the big name Fender.
Would you say it's more open sounding, or?
Especially in combine with a bolt-on maple neck, you get what the classic
The spanky
does.
Fender type of sound. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's really lightweight. I
Yeah.
mean, compared
Yeah, we
to-
have some really nice and lightweight ash sitting here,
Okay.
even in one-piece bodies.
And could you show some maple, of course, what it looks like?
Maple.
Okay, and then one of the last woods we're gonna tackle is, of course, the maple, which is a very hard wood. Most of it is very hard, and it gives a very edgy sound. So if you would have a full maple guitar, it would have a lot of mid and high, and be very spanky. But of course, it gives a nice edge to any mahogany. You know, mahogany would be darker and rounder, and the maple top would make it more in balance.
You're right.
Would you agree?
Yeah, I absolutely agree, and I especially like combining a maple neck to a mahogany body guitar, like the Crowdsters.
Yeah.
That's the combination to add a little bit snap.
Yeah, but most of your Crowster necks are really nicely flamed. I mean, does it make any difference for the stability if it's plain flamed?
Well, since we watch the neck blanks really carefully before we use them, and you see when you get the neck blanks in, especially the Crowdster necks, I buy from a musical wood supplier, so they're pre-cut in neck sizes. But you can already tell if the neck goes a little bit like this, we get it out.
Okay.
We don't use it. Or what you could do is, if you have the thickness, you can actually like this cut it and do it a two-piece to get off the tension and make like a jazz guitar, make like decorational dark middle strip. You could do that. We barely did that yet, but I have so many nice neck blanks, years and years old over here.
Wow.
So I would love to come up with this kind of thing. Maybe on the reedback, maybe on a different model, but they're on the shelf since a long time, so there's lots of projects to come up.
Okay, I saw somewhere a bird's eye piece. Is that some people say that's less stable? Is that true?
Yes, yeah, it is. But my experience with bird's eye is not that big, because maybe we have to make up to maybe 15 guitars total in bird's eye maple necks, and this kind of wood I'm about to buy bird's eye right now, and to just have it and let it sit as long as possible before
Okay.
we use it.
So that's years.
Yeah.
Do you climate control these rooms?
This one is not, because this room is heated all year long. This is like your living room.
Okay.
This is it's never getting cold in here, since the sanding room is next door and the machine shop is next door. So this is all the time in 20 something degrees all the
Okay.
time. And what I do measure is the moisture sometimes, but I always say, okay, dry enough, way dry enough.
Okay. So what is the percentage? Like 8 to 12% maybe humidity?
The wood.
Yeah.
No, I buy it with this percentage. If I can, if it's already clean, like most of the woods nowadays, you buy clean dried. They're dried to maybe 12%, and then we let it sit. And I try to get it lower than that.
Okay.
And the longer it sits here, the more confident I feel using it.
Yeah, because it won't warp anymore. It won't work
or
on
even
it.
less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you. This is the wood room.
Yep.
We move on. Okay, this is like a candy shop to me. So with Nick, we selected some really nice tops from stuff we will have in the next year or so. This is a sponge, just to show you what this flame really looks like, or an impression at least of what it will look like when it's finished. Of course, this is a one-piece top. This will be a 59 Orca with binding. Beautiful stuff. And some more. This is a burl. Of course, this is not cut yet, but as you can see, this is what it roughly will look like. Of course, this will be cut in half and then book matched. Beautiful stuff. This will probably be a cognac color or something like that. This is, well, you don't need to wet this. This is a, well, quadruple A top Orca. And this is, of course, flat sawn. This is a little bit more plain, but still it has a very interesting look to it. As you can see from different angles. Flip-flop top. Very nice. And this is also something you don't see every day. Very interesting grain. You see it coming out when I'm wetting it. Don't want to make it too wet, but you see from different angles. Very nice top. So this will be a nice guitar, and this I love very much. It's a redwood top, very lightweight, but has a crazy crazy flame. Of course, one piece. So this will be a reed bargain for some lucky guy. Maybe it's you. Let me know. Okay, so most of you will know that ebony is black usually, but in reality about 60% of the trees that is cut now in Africa, most of them of course in Africa, is actually like this, like a zebra sort of feel. Not everybody likes that it's colored, or let's say duotone, but I actually love it. It's more alive, and we will be ordering more Hubers with this sort of ebony. I love it. It's great stuff. And the tone, ding ding ding, great stuff. So we moved on to the, let's say, machine room, where all the heavy machinery is, like a bandsaw, planers, all that sort of stuff. Of course, very important here, this CNC machine that Nik has. Of course, it's a programmable machine that it's a numeric controlled machine that cuts bodies, necks, anything you want. And the nice thing about this is that it's so accurate that you can actually reproduce to 1/100 of a millimeter exact any neck. So if you would break a neck, you could easily make a replacement, just to see how accurate it is. But Nik is using these machines not because he's lazy, although he says he's lazy, but he's doing that to be exact and to be accurate where it needs to be accurate. And all the other people, like all the 10 people who are working on the guitars, they make sure the passion and the love is there, and they finish the product like it should with their hands. Nik, what can you tell us about this room?
Yeah, that's like I said, this is a machine room where we get the rough body blanks and tops on the planer. We glue, actually you can see a glued up maple top right here. So we book match it here on the bandsaw, we plan it, then glue it together. Actually this is then thickness is going to be glued onto a mahogany body. Then I cut it rough on the bandsaw and put it on the CNC to actually shape the body. We just renewed pretty much every machine except the old table saw from my father last year, so it's all new stuff here. Nice tools.
Looks impressive, yeah. Well, these are the tools that you make to put into the CNC machine.
Right.
Could you tell us something about how this
works?
works?
We have like we're working with our friend Franco, who is actually responsible for programming all this, and we built those tools in-house here. So and it's a long and delicate learning process, and we did so many versions of these, and there's always a new idea and a better way to fix it, to clamp it on, and we have tons of different things. That's, for example, that's an older one, still made of wood. The vacuum pockets, this is old.
So what happens is the body is bandsaw, and then they put it into this machine onto this mold. And of course, you see here an attachment for to suck it vacuum, let's say.
Yeah.
So it's exactly where it should be, and then the machine does its work, so it doesn't move at all. So all these different molds are for different body shapes, like dolphin, necks or backs, fronts or backs. And this is, for instance, a back that was done for Reed Bergen, as you can see. And it's so accurate that it needs little. I mean, of course, it needs a lot of extra care, but not as much as you would with a hand router or with a copy carving machine.
We did that many times with a copy carving machine.
Yeah, and this is actually very good. I mean, it's of course it needs to be sanded and everything, and of course sprayed and filled. But this is a good basic body to start with.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Okay, this is a very impressive range of necks, and as you can see, different headstocks for different models. Nik, what can you tell us about this?
Yeah, the neck shelf actually, and you can also see actually where it starts. This is still the rough neck blank sitting here for the Crousters actually. Here's some mahogany. L means lightweight, so we also, if we cut the blanks, we already kind of
Pre-select.
mark and
Yeah.
pre-select them, and
Because you want to keep the total under a certain weight, probably, no?
yeah, and sometimes it's very good to combine denser wood with more lightweight woods and vice versa. So if it's really the best thing to do, I don't know, but it's like you do things and you try.
Well, you make
out
an instrument. It's not like a computer, you know.
You're right,
You have
right.
to,
So, and if your weight varies, I try to mark it, and then you see when a neck blank is. That's pretty much the first step here.
Okay.
So headstock ankle gets there, truss rod channel.
This is Corina again.
This is Corina again, right?
Also very lightweight.
Yeah. And actually, this is the next step from here.
You hear the tone.
Yeah. And the good thing is, I like to actually pre-produce neck blanks. Like here, this is a neck for a Dolphin Surfmeister, so it can sit for a while here. And it's
What
not
scale
getting.
length do you use on your?
That's a long strat.
Start,
25, 25, right?
Yeah.
Right. So and it makes us a little bit more flexible when the order comes in or if the guitar gets started. It's good to have at least rough cut neck blanks already sitting here, and the longer they sit in this kind of shape, the better they are, and they can
Adjust to their new shape, let's say.
Exactly, and the tension goes off, and
I see a very nice one here with the.
yeah,
That's heavier.
yeah, that's for a good friend of mine.
What is this wood?
He supplied the wood. It's Rosenholz.
Okay.
I don't
So
have-
not rosewood, but
no
rosewood.
Rosenholz. I don't have the English term for
No,
it.
no. We'll look it up.
Yeah,
Nice. It's a little heavy, but it's
yeah,
very
yeah. It's,
beautiful.
it's like a rosewood neck. There's all
Dolphins.
dolphin necks, redwood necks.
I
all
like that
kinds
you
of-
use that, that multicolored ebony.
Yeah, I mean, it's not getting easier to get the really black stuff, and this is what nature gives us, and it has its own uniqueness. Is that the
Yeah,
right
but
term?
it's more playful, you know.
Yeah.
It's very, it's alive.
Right. And what else? We have we know this.
Oh, bound necks.
Yeah, maple bound necks. So this is actually fretted,
For Norca.
carved for Norca, right? And there's all kinds of here's an orca neck in maple with an ebony board, like again the striped ebony.
The old dolphin.
We don't do it anymore.
Okay.
There's still a few old neck blanks sitting around.
So do you actually fit the truss rod just before you glue the board on, or?
Yeah, you can see it like we fit the truss rod, so it's glued in a bold way. It's a single rod truss rod,
Okay.
and
For single action.
both double action since
Double
we have it
action,
anchored here. It's a double action truss rod, but a single rod, not
Yeah.
two rods
Yeah, yeah.
working
Okay.
against each other. So, and this is the next step would be this for have the flattened surface, and then glue on the fretboard. Brazilian rosewood in your hands.
This is Brazilian rosewood. All legal, of course, but it's so beautiful. And if you hear
Yeah, it wants to ring.
just wants to ring.
It's a nice chunk of Brazilian here.
So what is the actual add-on price for a neck like this? If you want a guitar with a neck like this, with sighties and everything.
For a whole neck, it's honestly I have to think a little bit because Clemens is doing more the price list,
But
I
it's
think
going to be like €1,000.
it's more than
More
that.
than that, okay.
It's almost 2,000, I think.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. It's it's rare material, and we don't want to cut the new trees anymore, and it's getting rarer and rarer.
Yeah.
So that's
It's more for our more fortunate and rich customers. Nice stuff, Nick. Let's go on. Okay, here we are in the sanding and fretting room. You see, of course, here in this case, there's a nice Riedberg in the works.
Yeah.
But we'll show you in a minute how bodies get sanded. We don't have any footage of fretting, but you can imagine how that works. What can you tell us about this room, Nick?
It's the latest edition of room we did actually. We built this room separately from the wood because we have this window front. It's very light, always daylight in here. And this is where we actually get the bodies in after they come from carving. And Marcus, Christine, Mirko and Max are sanding, staining, base coating, pore filling, lacquer sanding all in this room, and Andreas is actually doing the fret work over there, right on this bench.
Yeah. So it's all hand pressed.
Yeah, we hand press.
So this is a fret bench. I see you hand press everything.
Yeah, we hand press every fret. We have different radius calls here, and since we have a compound radius, you have to exchange these during the fretting process. And yeah, we press them in, and we fix the ends with glue. And this is all the pre-cut frets. Since our fret slots are not going through, we have routed fret slots.
Okay.
So this is why we have to nip every nip off the fret tang and press them in.
Nice. Yeah, it's a nice color, lemon drop style.
Yeah, nice one-piece top, Eastern maple, and actually that's a super hollow. If you turn it around, you can very good see the inside. You see, even the pot molds are counter carved. See?
It weighs nothing. It's like a
that is a really lightweight guitar.
3 kilograms. This is going to where? Germany or?
This is going to the US.
US.
Yeah. This is a dolphin. This one is going to be red, so it's pre-stained, and the final color I will do with a clear coat.
Okay.
I only do it right now on the reds.
So you make it, you stain it black, then you sand it back to get the high contrast,
Right.
like PRS does.
Yeah.
And so this will be like a dark cherry sort of.
Ruby red, we call it, like a complete red guitar. This is how it was ordered.
Very nice.
And I have a very nice tint for the clear coat, so I add the color to the clear coat. It's different than here. Here's the final color state already.
Okay. Okay, here we are in the spray booth. Of course, you just saw the Marcus spraying this body, which is actually supposed to be charcoal, but it has a very nice blue sort of hint to it. And this is a huge suction device that actually draws all the overspray, so that it's a more healthy environment for people to work in. So this must have been quite an investment, Nick.
Yeah, it's still okay, but the next investment will be a heated airflow. So that's the bigger part of the investment. Yeah, for winter time. Yeah.
But as you can see, it looks like candy. It's really nice. So
yes.
The spraying is actually the part of the production that takes up most of the time, because of course first you have to fill the pores, and then there's the base coat, 4 layers, and sanding, of course, if needed, more layers. And then of course clear coating and staining, so this takes the major part of the whole production time. And of course it's very crucial to the eventual look of the guitar. So it's nice. You can't smell it, but it's beautiful. Nitro. Here we are at final assembly, and of course we hijacked some guitars that were, let's say, workshop classics. So they were around, but we think they're beautiful. So this is, for instance, a special, and we sort of nosed around in all the drawers, and this is what we come up with. P90 pickups, of course, with cream covers. This will be mounted. Of course, a wraparound bridge. I think tortoiseshell pickguard looks very nice. Of course, this is almost good to go. So this is coming to Max Guitar very soon. And this is a really special guitar. It's actually a one-off. It's a prototype. It's a cross between a Crowdster and a Surfmeister. Yeah. So it's really, it says prototype on the back. I'll show you in a minute. And this is what we come up with. Of course, this will be a black pickguard with a P90, of course, in the neck position, and a humbucker, Loller or Heusel, whatever we want. And this is the pièce de la résistance, of course, the nice Bixby, aged. It's a beautiful guitar. It's a workhorse, but it's still a great addition to any collection. And this is what makes it special. It says it here. Prototype, built in 2013 in onyx black. Beautiful guitar, beautiful guitar. So coming to Max Guitar very soon. And more guitars. Ooh. So these are just two examples of what we will get. We will get a lot of guitars, as many as we can sort of scrounge together. I just want to give you one final look into the drawers, secret drawers of Nik Huber, where all the goodies are. Of course, these are, as you can see, nuts, not blanks actually. Of course, all the screws and things you need to put a guitar together. Strap locks, strap button holders, knobs, very special ones. You know, so if you want something special on your Crowdster, just let us know. I'm just giving you a quick flick through. All sorts of nice rosewood, anything you want. Ebony, macassar, ivory, or it's faux ivory, of course, not real ivory. Bridges, aged or non-aged. Here, bridges, studs, everything is there. Wraparound, glossy, gold, satin finished, anything you want. So it's nice to have one of these Hubers, and it's even nicer to personalize one. See all sorts of different stuff. Oh, this is empty. This is very interesting, actually. This is the best drawer. Well, this was it for from Max Guitar, from Nik Huber's workshop. I hope you enjoyed this. We thank Nik, and we hope to sell many of his guitars. Thank you very much.